this video, I will show you how you can apply sprint security in method level. Let's say guys, you have created a REST API and you need to apply sprint security features in your REST API, right? So if you want like that requirement, so this is the place you need to go. If you go to this video, you can get understanding, right? So let's move on. Okay, in Sprint Security, have four main annotation for applying Sprint Security in method level, right? Basically, if in REST API, guys, if you use these four annotation, you can apply Sprint Security features, right? So there are minor difference between four annotation. I'll explain in my upcoming this tutorial. In secured annotation, right? So if you go this example, you can see, sorry, here in top of this method, I have specified this annotation with this string, right? Actually, this is the string what you have, what your role is, right? This is actually your role. What he's saying, guys, so if this particular method can only be accessed the user which have this specific role, right? So if it is, so he can access, then returning a successful response. Let's say this person or user doesn't have this role, right? So it has something else. So at that time, guys, this user can't even go inside this method, can't even access this method, right? Then the response will be 401. It's mean unauthorized, guys. So in my demo section, so I will show you using Postman how these annotations work, right? So actually uh, this is what this is it's not commonly used this secure annotation, but uh, security have this kind of annotation. So if you go next and role alert annotation, guys, so there are no difference but same as secure annotation, but you can specify role like this, right? You can use this annotation in similar way in secured annotation. It's basically equivalent, we can say. So equivalent to secured annotation. Same as secured annotation, guys. If this user doesn't have this specific role, he's returning 401 unauthorized response. Yeah, pre-authorized and post-authorized commonly used. So actually, in previous annotation, I have said here. So I have specified directly a role, right? In here, guys, you can specify your expression, just like string, right? So in our project, as if you remember, I have used feature permission URL, right? This what I need to specify here exact, right? So in this place, you can specify this kind of string as you want, right? Let's say this user have this feature permission or authority, so then user can access this method, right? User can go even inside this method and he can do whatever he want, and finally response will be successful response. You know, right, what are the successful response? You can specify 40 to 200 or 201, like that successful response he can get if the user has this authority, right? So this is the syntax basically. So if you go it, so can you pause authorize? This is there is a main difference, guys. So in here, guys, if the user doesn't have this authority, he doesn't have, okay, he doesn't have this authority, guys. He can't go uh, inside this method, right? He can't access this the things inside this method button. if we use post authorized annotation, guys, if the user has this guys, so in if we use post authorized annotation, let's say this user doesn't have this authority, right? So basically, this authority or this feature permission URLs in our example. So let's say user doesn't have this authority, right? At that time, guys, so the user can go inside this method and you can do whatever the things we have mentioning in inside this method, and finally, guys, so it's returning 401. What does this mean basically? So if the user doesn't have this authority or this authority, so user can access this method, but finally it's returning 401 means unauthorized response, right? If the user have this authority, it act as a uh, normal method, so he can go inside this method and after executing all these things is returning successful response if the user have this authority, right? So that's the basic idea about this uh, post authorized annotation. So uh, and same time, this is what this is the main difference between pre-authorized and post-authorized. Pre-authorized it means if the user doesn't have this uh, authority, user can access this method, but if you use pre-authorized annotation, user doesn't have this authority, user can't even go inside this method. It's returning for zero. So this is basically Sprint security for annotations. So practical sections, I'll show you post annotation and pre-authorized annotation because those annotations is commonly used, right? Okay, let's jump up to this practical session and how. Let's see how this is work. Okay, guys. So in our project, guys, I created a REST API like this. So I created basically control headhunter controller. So if you go with my demo video, so you can so we are next in next video we will create a headhunter management system, right, using Angular 6. So for that, guys, I created a headhunter entity like this. So I use three properties: name, email, active, and I have assigned getters and setters like this. And also I created the repository like this API repository, right? So and also I created the controller. So in here what I want to do is, so I need to fetch all the hunters, right? So in here, guys, I need to apply split security as well for this method. Okay. Before that, we will jump up to the database and let's see what are the feature feature permissions for each users, right? So we have, as I said my previous video, we have four users, right? Let's see what feature permission URL have this super admin, right? For that, guys, so I wrote a simple SQL join query. So on here I can get all the feature permission which is for the particular user, right? Here, guys, so you can see I have set a join query. So what it is doing basically in this query, guys, I need to get all the role ID for this particular user, right? Then I have all the role ID and I have assigned this role ID to my role feature permission mapping table, right? In here you can see I do all the based on the role ID, I get all the feature permission ID from feature permission role feature permission table, right? Then I have feature permission ID. Based on this feature permission ID, I need to get all the feature permissions. So in here guys, we have assigned feature permission URL, so I need to show you so what are the feature permission URL for particular this user, right? So I need to get right, it's a like query, so I need to get all the feature permission based on this uh, user, right? So if we execute this SQL query, you can see all the feature permission URL. This is what I want, right? So if it even this is the super admin, so this then he have all the feature permissions, right? So, so you can see, right, all the permission for the recruitment feature as well as hunter management feature, right? Everything have for the uh, take super admins. Then we will show you what are the uh, permission for the Robert. Robert is HR executive, so we have no super admin rights. So let's see what are the feature permission URL for this HR executive. Well, yeah, that's a limitation, right? So we only have hunter management feature with view save update permission, right? So then guys, we have applied some restrictions, so Robert can't access these features, and super admin can access everything like that. So we go back to Techie Primers, make sure that hunter management view save update only for HR executive. We go Techie Primers, so we have recruitment feature, right? So as example, let's get this feature, this authority. So let's say feature permission URL doesn't have for HR executive, right? For I'll copy this one. So put it here. Okay. Then guys, I need to do some restriction in our method here. So copy and put it here. Okay. Then I'll bring this feature permission. Okay, like this. Okay, if we use pre-annotation, right? Pre-authorized. If we use pre-authorized annotation like this, what this is mean basically, then this method can only be accessed for the super admin, right? HR executive can't be accessed because uh, this authority doesn't have for HR executive, only have for the super admin, right? Let's read start this auth service and let's see what will be the response, right? While loading, so I'll go with some another SQL query. So I read other SQL query for getting all the users based on this role name, right? So you can write different SQL queries, so you know the mapping, right? Then you can write whatever you want. So here what we can do is, so based on this role name guys, we can get the users. So what you need to do is, so need to filter this role ID from the role table like this, and based on this role ID guys, you can get all the users, right? If you want to find out which role for which users, so this query you can use, right? Yeah, our service is live now, so I use Postman, right? So if you not install, guys, so you just Google this Postman and you can install, right? So first thing is for accessing our REST API, because then our REST API is Spring security resource, right? For accessing our REST API, guys, we need to a token, right? So we need to fetch a token, right? So first I'll show you using our super admin here, guys. So as I said before, so you need to specify grant type, username, the username you want, and password. So right, so header sections you need to assign the content type. Okay, this is the one. Then authorized, guys, you need to specify the username and password. So I'll explain these things in my previous video, so you go ahead and get the idea, right? So then here, guys, so what you need to specify the user uh, and password um, for fetching the token, right? So when we change in the users, the token also getting changed, right? So then this is the post request, and let's see, unauthorized. Okay, one more time. What is this issue? Yeah, tricky primer, right? Not test. Sorry for that. When I hit, we need to get the token. Yeah, we have get the token, guys. So then this is token based on this user name and username, right? This is token for the username. What is this refresh token, guys? I didn't explain because, guys, so on particular time you can see this expired time as well, right? Within this expired time, guys, this token is getting expired, right? Then okay, this access token is getting expired in this particular time, right? So then how can we access our resource? There is no way, right? So that is why this refresh token comes into the picture, right? Um, if I explain more, guys, request token carry the informations necessary to get a new access token in the resource server, right? So whenever an access token is required to access a specific resource, a client may use a request token to get a new access token. So who is issued by the authentication server, right? This access token is issued by the authentication server, guys. uh, Main point is a refresh token carry information necessary to get a new access token. So that's why refresh token uh, useful, right? So okay, then our access token is there, so we need to use this access token for accessing our resource API, right? So we need to copy this access token and you need to go to this section. So here I have a specified URL like this. So service headhunter data all. This is basically this controller URL. So if we go count this API, guys, so you see data slash all hunters. So this is my API. So as what I have specified, this is the get method, and other main point is this is type, right? Token type. So you need to, there are bunch of tokens, but you need to select this bearer token, right? So this is actually a bearer token, so you need to copy this token here and you need to paste it here, right? Here place you need to paste the token. Okay, it is similar, right? So yeah, and then, guys, body no difference, so say there, so you can access, right? So we are accessing from techie primer, right? Then what is our expectation? This time these methods need to be accessed, right? Because this is the super admin. Okay, let's try. Okay, right? This is the data, so I have put in a table. So this is dummy data I have put. So then techie primer, in other words super admin, can access this particular method, right? Let's change our token. What will be the response, guys? 401 should be this, yeah, 401 unauthorized. So this is an invalid token. Our security feature is working fine, right? So okay, if it is a valid token, guys, so you can see this can be accessed. Okay, and now next step, guys. So I need to get the token from HR executive. So what is his username, guys? Robert, right? Then to get the token from Robert, right? Robert username and password. By using this password, you need to get the token. So fetch, yeah, this you can see. So this is the difference, right? So in previously token was this, right? But the second time you can get the bearer token, that's right. So I need this token for this accessing our resource. Okay, delete next. Then what uh, what what is the expectation, guys? Then the this authority doesn't have this Robert, right? Then this with this time this message should not be accessed, right? Accessible. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's say parameter 401 unauthorized access denied, right? But here, why? Because why this access denied? Because this HR executive doesn't have this authority, right? So this working. You can see this uh, logo also there is invalid token, right? Okay. This is what I want to demonstrate. One more thing. So let's try with say Robert. I need to get the feature permission URL which I can able to access, right? Okay. If you're using this, right, I need to access. And restart. Then needs to be accessed, right? Because this authority have this particular user, right? The robot has this authority, guys. We'll try. You can see you can able to access because this authority contain for allow this user, right, robot user. Okay, then okay, then move our second annotation. This is post authorized, right? Post authorized. Okay. Previously, what I did is difference is this: if the user doesn't contain this authority, he can access this method. Basically, he can go inside this method, but return in 401, right? Then I use this rotation, this authority, and I try with Robert, right? Then he need to go inside this method, right? So I can show you in log. So you need to print this method, and but does not return in successful response. Should not be returned successful response. It should be uh, unauthorized 401, right? It does not return in this hunter, right? Because this authority doesn't contain for this particular user. Okay, our service up. So okay, then we will try with this robot chooser, right? Okay, once we hit this, so you can see 401. Yeah, this is what I was expected, but difference is, you see, this log should be print, right? So yeah, here is the message. Then you it means, guys, this user can able to access this thing, but returning 401, right? He can go inside this method even this user doesn't contain this authority, proper authority, right? Then again I will try with techie primer super admin. The same token, because this particular time is not exceeded, so that's that is again and again is given same access token, right? If it is the time is getting expired, so you can see the different token, then it should be access, right? Okay, you can see that's what statistically I want to show in this demo in this. Okay, if you go, guys, the resource server, so in order to access this pre-authorized and post-authorized annotation, guys, you need to add this annotation, right? I have already add those annotation. You don't need to change. So here, guys, you need to enable, right, like this. So if it is a false, guys, its method level annotation is doesn't activate it. So in order to activate, so we need to mention was enable true, right? So if you want to enable secured annotation, guys, I didn't show you. So but if you, in order to you want to enable this secured annotation, so you need to enable like this, secured enable true. um, there's no any changes, so that's what, right? That's it, guys. So uh, okay, in next video, guys, so I'll start implementing our Angular 6 front-end application for in next video. You can learn Angular stuffs from the scratch, right? So I hope to develop Angular application from CLI from the scratch. So if you have no any experiences Angular 7, so you can go with this. So uh, okay, that's it, guys. So if you not subscribe my channel, please go and subscribe, like, share, and um, drop a comment. So then we'll meet you in next video, right? See you.